guys, my name is Crystal. Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm a female from Rochester in Kent. I vlog my everyday life. Alexa, what's the time please?
It's 2:52 p.m.
Right, let's hear what my mother's got to say, because indeed my mother Jennifer has called me again.
EE voicemail. You have 1 new message and 15 saved messages. First new message. Received today at 2:36 p.m.
Good afternoon, Janessa. It's me, your mum, Jennifer, speaking to you from my landline phone to you, Janessa. It can be the usual afternoon, daytime telephone call. Hoping you're all right and hope you have a good bank holiday. Bye for now. I'll give you a ring up later on just to let you know that I'm thinking of you. Bye.
What I don't understand is my mum rings between 3 to 6 times a day saying that she's worried about me. Yesterday I was approached by a man on the fields, and he could have been anybody, couldn't he? So I've got a mother who's supposed to be worried about me, and she's thinking about me this bank holiday weekend. But she's all the way in Chatham. I live in Rochester. What the hell can she do if something happens to me? Nothing. I take a personal alarm in one pocket. I've got my phone in the other. I didn't know what happened to me yesterday, like I said, when that man approached me. Because he said that he had a female in his flat, I felt safe. So when he took me round to his flat, his girl as a friend was sat there. She was sat there, so I felt safe in the flat because there was someone else in there. Once he took me out of the flat, I'd had a cup of tea, and I wouldn't say I felt blurry, but I felt different. I didn't feel like it was my true self coming through. And I'm not shy, I'm quiet and reserved, and obviously I can stand up for myself and normally say, no, I don't want you to do that. I can remember what happened yesterday, but it didn't hit me till this morning. The full force of it didn't hit me till first thing this morning. Basically, I blocked it out of my head yesterday. I even went to the co-op after that guy had done that to me. I went to the co-op, I got some shopping, came back to my flat, and I just carried on as if nothing had happened. And then this morning, I felt terrible. I actually started to remember what had actually happened, and I felt sick and disgusted. I'm not going to let that happen again. Normally I won't accept drinks from anybody. I don't even have tea and coffee round my mum's. I don't. So my mum's rung again. What has happened is that I'm just staying by myself. I feel safe by myself. I went out just after 2 p.m. and I walked around the field. There was a guy with a tripod filming a rather chubby young lady in a pair of jeans, and she was holding a Costa coffee, one of those cream, those cold drinks. I got them, didn't I? I got them. I went into Costa's and got a mango frappe, that's it. A blueberry frappe or a mango frappe. This guy was taking photographs of this woman with a tripod and his iPhone on it, or he had a camera, I can't remember, and she was holding up a Costa Coffee blueberry frappe. Yes, she was a younger woman. Yes, she had long brunette hair, but I'm happy with myself. And as an older woman, older mature women can, they're in catalogues in lingerie. Littlewood's catalogues have older men and older women modelling clothes. I'm happy with myself. I am completely happy with the way I look and the way my body is. I don't want to be anybody else. So I mean, while they are on the field, there's nothing there. There's nothing there but grass. There's no lovely views. There's no fairgrounds. There's no, where they were filming, there was no swans, no boats, no water. They were just filming on grass. You know, where the builders are, they were filming on grass. This chubby young woman in jeans holding a frappe from Costa. And there was some like old bike, a piece of a bike frame. So she was near a bike frame. So I went out of my flat, walked along the riverside. There was an old man with grey hair with a bag coming towards me, like in an old raincoat. And he sat down near the riverside with this bag, and I just walked up the steps and walked away. Then I noticed a blonde lady with sunglasses on, walking a pug dog behind me, and I recognised her from my block of flats. So just after I left the flats, the woman in this block of flats must have come out with her pug dog. So she was walking behind me. I walked past the couple doing the shooting on the fields, and then I just took the dog for a walk like normal. Max is tired, he's zonked out and he's resting. I'm in my flat. I went out to the co-op this morning, and I'm completely fine. I've got the cool air fan on, I've been listening to music, and I'm just going through the newspaper after what happened to me yesterday. And I know that the police will not do anything because this is a complete cover-up. They won't do anything. And it can only be someone high up involved or the mafia. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but when somebody attacks you and the police don't do anything, and they say, where's the evidence, and you've actually got photographs of someone verbally abusing you and they still don't do anything, then there's something wrong. So that's either a cover-up, someone's telling them not to come out to me, Crystal, and help. Someone's actively must be saying, oh, don't do anything to help that person, because it's happened all the way along. Through when my dad was married to my mum, they came out and they said my mum was mentally ill and my dad was hitting her. And I, as a child, witnessed my father hit my mother. So I know that when my dad was lying to the police, I knew my mum wasn't mentally ill at that time. But after, I mean, she's gone through a lot, my mum. She lost her son. Her son was murdered. And then she obviously got unwell. And they diagnosed my mother, Jennifer, with paranoid schizophrenia. And she don't remember that her baby had been murdered. So it sent her, like, that would upset anybody, wouldn't it? That would make anyone not normal, having your son murdered. I'm not making excuses. There's a lot of errors in the police force. There's a lot of errors in the mental health system. There's a lot of, the NHS is absolutely crap. You can't get an NHS dentist, and when you do get treated, it's appalling treatment. It's just shoddy, rushed work. What can you do? I have to protect myself. I have to look after myself. When I was in Gloucestershire and I was being attacked, again the police didn't come out. They'd come out and they wouldn't do anything. They wouldn't do anything. They put the victims in cells and let the perpetrators off. That was what was happening all the way along in my case. Since I've ever known, since I've ever been a kid, witnessed the domestic violence between my mum and dad, when my dad was allowed to abuse me and he got away with it, With relationships, when I called the police out when I was actually being attacked, they would actually side with the perpetrator. They would make friends with the perpetrator and put me in a cell. I don't know why. I wish I did. My dad was doing horrific things to my mother, and he was doing horrific things to me. And I'm buggered if I'm going through that again with somebody else. You know, my mum said to me, like, you know, aren't some men like my dad? So this guy I met had bad breath, no teeth. He was smoking probably Amber Leaf or Old Holborn Golden Virginia out of a pouch, and roll-ups like my dad used to do. My dad did have a bath. He didn't go without a bath for 9 months, that's for sure. Derek always had a bath. I used to write in my diary, I've gone up to see Mum and Dad today, and Dad was in the bath. My father never went 9 months without having a wash. He had eyes like my dad, but more blue. My dad had a bit of hazel in his eyes. They weren't blue. It's like everybody's like mimicking my mum and dad's relationship. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. It's quite frightening actually when you're sitting back from it and you're watching people behave. It's quite scary, and I don't feel safe. I didn't walk out because I didn't realise that guy was going to start touching me on the field. Had I known that guy was going to do that, I would have gone without him. I would have gone across the road without him. I don't know what's going on. I'm oblivious to it. All I can do is protect myself and other people from what I think are predators, like trying to get hold of vulnerable women to use them for money, you know, and they want my flat and they want some money. When I'm afraid I'm not doing that. This is my flat and my money is my own. And you don't feed a junkie or an alcoholic's addiction. That's not fair to yourself, and it's not fair to them. And the only way is to be cruel to be kind, and that's to not give them drink, not give them any money, and they need to go into like rehab. Because this guy is looking for someone who's got a flat and some money, so that he can continue drinking alcohol, and he'd probably chat up other women. I felt sorry for the woman. He's bringing women off the street back to his girlfriend's flat. How do you think she feels when she's bought the flat and he's bringing God knows who into her flat? I couldn't believe it. Like I said, there's something sinister going on, because I went upstairs. I went several upstairs. They didn't have a lift. Went into the flat. This woman was sat there, and she was really, really large with a double chin, long black hair that hadn't been brushed, and she had black leggings on. And she said hello to me, but I know she felt uncomfortable. I would. How would you feel if a bloke brought in, if you were someone's girlfriend and a bloke brought another woman into the flat? How would you feel? Couldn't believe it. I used their bathroom. I had to go to the toilet twice. He had a microphone and a keyboard. And he said that he was like a singer. He showed me his room, but his girlfriend was in the flat, and it was a single bed, and he had like essential oils like my dad used to have, and burners, and he was smoking. And I have I haven't got a bad breathing as my mother Jennifer, but I have got, I can't tolerate smokers or weed or anything like that, and it was smoky in there, he was smoking. And his dog was led on the sofa, like, asleep. His girlfriend said the smoke was affecting the dog, and smoke does affect pets, it does. I felt really uncomfortable. I felt sorry for the woman. It's her flat, she got it, she helped him off the streets, and he's bringing women back to her flat. And I mean, she wants to be alone, and he's bringing people back to the flat. She'd had a fall, she was tired. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what that was all about and what they're doing on the field, like filming these girls holding frappes. I don't know what's going on. And also, my mother's got two brothers. Rodney, nobody knows where Rodney is. I remember that Rodney and Malcolm, my mum's brothers, are as old as my mother, who's 77, so they're just a bit younger or a bit older than my mother. I'm 54, so I don't know what Rodney looks like. I don't know what Malcolm looks like. I last saw them about 40 years ago. I wouldn't know what Malcolm and Rodney look like. Anyway, this guy said, you can be my sister. Sister. You don't put your tongue down your sister's throat, do you? Not really. And that is what my ex-partner, where I used to live, he used to ring women up. I used to sit round my ex's flat on his put you up, and he would have women ring the flat, and he would go, that's my adopted sister. Oh, that's my adopted mum. And then he'd tell me to get out the flat. His adopted sister was coming round. So I get the gist of what's going on, but it can only go on if I let it. And if I don't let it, they can't do it, can they? See you later.